Hello, I'm Rosey, Thurman, an attorney with Team Child here in Spokane, Washington. I spent the last 25 years advocating and representing youth between 12 and 24 on educational issues. Throughout that time, I've been able to recognize the difference an advocate can make in a child's life. As a parent or guardian, you know your child's needs better than anyone. You've seen their struggles and their triumphs. As an active participant in their education, you can help prepare them for life and help the school improve their services to all special needs students. You are your child's primary advocate. If not you, then who would do it? Advocacy can help build your child's connections between school and home. Using these educational videos can help you become knowledgeable and capable about the laws and practices in schools. Don't be afraid to ask questions and share what your child's needs are, because you are the expert in your child's life. Important things to think about. Maybe having a respectful partnership with the school. And what is a respectful partnership? This is a really hard question. You would like the school staff to care for your child while they're at school. So even if you don't agree with the school staff on everything, trying to assume good intentions will help to find middle ground. This comes from trying to be aware of how we communicate, knowing the laws and facts that apply, and keeping a log of who, what, when, and where goes on will make a difference in your partnership. You will want to have a friendly relationship, but on a professional level. This isn't the place necessarily to talk about your private life. It is centered around your child and how your child can learn best. You want your teacher to know how to help your child, but not to be your friend. Ideas to develop a partnership. To develop these partnerships with school staff, start with the basics and show respect. What they do, how they do it. They have a big job and they have a number of children whose parents want them to learn and thrive. Let them know that you take your child's education seriously and figure out the best way to communicate with your child's teacher and other staff. Does the teacher prefer email, a written note, a telephone call? How often would they like to connect to share progress and concerns? When your child comes home and repeats concerning things that happened at school, ask and listen to staff before making a judgment. Ask how you can communicate best. Sometimes how we say things can be more important than what you say. Look at your tone of voice. Are you saying more than you wish? Studies have shown that people pay more attention to body language and tone of voice than to the actual words that someone speaks. What does your body language convey? Did the teacher try to talk with you, but you are rushed to get to your next job or your next task? Can you let them know this isn't a good time and can email to set up a time with them? You might want to try this exercise in using tone of voice to communicate different ideas. Try saying the sentence out loud to yourself and make the word that is highlighted the strongest word. As you listen to yourself, think of how the meaning changes when you emphasize different words. Why was she suspended? Why was she suspended? Why was she suspended? Why was she suspended? While the basic meaning of the sentence stays the same, emphasis on a particular word will convey a perspective and will imply something that isn't said by the words alone. Examine your body language. Are you rolling your eyes? Is it possible you're being dismissive of what the other person is saying? Are you sighing or laughing? Do you look exasperated with the person? Or is it possible they feel you're making fun of them? Do you have your hands on your hips or are you clenching your fist? Is it possible that you're looking aggressive or angry? If you can't figure it out, take a friend with you and see what they see. You're human and don't have to be perfect. Everyone has a bad day, but being aware helps you better maintain your cool and get your points across. Some body language tips. Am I doing something with my hands that make me look out of control? We have mannerisms and things we do when we are nervous. We might play with an earring or a ring. We might pull at our hair. Can I hold a notebook that would calm me down? Can I put my hands in my pockets? Do I have a look on my face that conveys, I think you are a stupid person? Look down at the papers. Look down at the floor. Start taking deep breaths, and that'll help you make a difference about how you think and respond more clearly. In making your points, there will be times when you do not feel much respect from the listener, or when you are so frustrated you feel like you can't see straight. The key is not to let these feelings get in the way of accomplishing your goals for your child. Can you schedule a time to meet later? Check in with yourself. If you feel that this person is rude or you need to figure out the next steps and have another person present, do that. Here are 4 ways to get your ideas across. Simplify, present an example, repeat, ask question. If possible, try to figure out if the other person understands what you're saying or asking for. I know that can be hard, but you could say to them straight up, "I'm not sure I'm getting my point across. Can you tell me what I'm saying?" If they've really got it, then you'll understand better. Questions are essential. Ask them and listen. But remember also the who, what, when, and where. Basically, questions are when you can add color to the picture that they're painting for you. Don't feel like you're stupid if you ask them. Whoever is speaking can often talk about a child's behavior without adding things like, who was around when this behavior occurred? What happened before the behavior? When does the behavior happen? For example, is it before lunch, after recess? Where does it happen? On the playground or somewhere else? When you ask them to read or when they work alone or in silence? Why do you think the behavior is happening? Are they avoiding work? Are they upset about something? Everybody has conflicts, so resolving conflicts are important to get around so that you can come to some agreement. You may want to start with clarifying the situation and make sure that you're on the same page. Often these conflicts arise when issues popped up often in a situation or an accumulation of things. Take a step back and make sure that the major conflict is what you are looking at. Get other people's perspectives. Do you have family members, professionals, others that you can ask for their ideas? For example, is there a therapist or someone who's working with your child that can give you an idea? Look at your assumptions that you have and the assumptions that staff have. Are you thinking that the teacher's silence when you've asked something means they're avoiding you? Is a teacher assuming something about you or your child that might be inaccurate? Try to find common ground. Are you and the teacher or staff in agreement on anything? Like, do you both agree on the behavior but not the cause of the behavior? Is there other information that can be added? Would another professional involved have an opinion that might help? Is it a matter of needing to ask other district staff like administrators to pay for an accommodation or another item? Are you asking the teacher for something that comes from the administration that makes the teacher look bad or creates a conflict for them? State your position clearly. Taking a step back and asking these questions can give you another chance to move ahead on an issue without further conflict. Conflict can be unavoidable, and you may have to agree to look at other steps. This is hard because it requires a lot of work, but remember your child is worth it, and without you, they will be stuck. Compromise. If you're like me, you may be asking, how can I compromise? Know your rights and pick your battles. Is the matter of the dispute with the school a legal right? Will compromise harm my child in their education? For example, is it because the IEP meeting was a day late? This may be a small violation, but the bigger one is my child learning in school? Does this seem like a personality conflict? Do we just don't agree on most things? Am I fighting for this because of the way they're disrespectful to me, but it doesn't harm my child? You don't have to like every teacher and school staff, but your child has to be there every day, and how you can make it work best for them is important. Look at the timing. Is this an issue for the next school year, or will it end which will end in a month? Are there alternatives? Can I change a classroom or a teacher? Would the director of special education be someone to consult? Disrespect. While you are working hard to establish a partnership relationship, it seems that sometimes others have no respect for your time or you. For example, when you set a meeting or your ideas about what your child needs, there are school staff who think they are experts and feel they should direct your child's education. You don't want to respond to this disrespect with further disrespect, so ask, I feel like you don't believe that I have to work at that time. When you say you have a meeting without me, I feel disrespected. Please, let's come up with a time that works for both of us. I need to keep my job. The law says that schools are to listen to parents and respect parents, so you pointing that out can help remind them. You've hit a dead end, so what do you do now? Try to continue to talk about your child's needs, not what the school did or didn't do. Look, is there another strategy like going to the special ed director or going to the principal? Is this about money? Is it something you can't deal with and the teacher can't deal with? Seeking backup from your doctor or your therapist, or using what they tell you is called an evidence-based approach might help the teacher to understand there's good reasons to do what you're asking. Use the internet. Mention what you have found. Are there advocates in the community to seek help from? Other parents? Is it time to go further and look into the dispute resolution process, which may be another name for due process? And able to continue to advocate throughout the school year, you're going to need to be prepared. Keep all the school records that you receive. You could keep them in e-files, notebooks, binders, rubber bands, find a drawer, anything that works for you at home. Save everything the school sends you. You only need one copy of your rights. You don't need all 15, but when it comes to IEPs, prior written notices, emails from the school, disciplinary notices, those are things you're going to want to have access to again. When you give the school something, keep a copy of it. Take a picture or you write an email to the school. Put it in a folder later at home. Email seems the most effective at the moment, and you will automatically have a copy. Keep a log. If you met with a teacher that day and they said something to you, write that down. One example is a parent I met recently who had disagreed with the school district about isolation and restraint for their child. They had done a great job of keeping that log and keeping that information. So when the Office of Civil Rights found the school had violated students' rights, they were ready to go to court with all the documentation. This is hard, I know, but worth everything you can put into it. Some tips for meetings. Take the law that you think supports your concerns with you to the meeting. Write down your questions before the meeting as well as during the meeting. That helps when you feel that you are on the spot. Take notes during the meeting or have a friend go with you and take those notes. It's pretty hard to take notes sometimes when you're talking. Make sure you're heard. If you get to the end of the meeting, mention that you have some thoughts. Schools are supposed to make sure that you understand the process and have a chance to be heard. You don't need to be rushed. Pause and take a breath, as many as you need. They may be in a hurry, but they set the meeting and you have the right to be heard. Ask what is assigned to the proposed changes. Is there someone who's going to do this accommodation, or how will they do it? Does something have to be purchased? Who will do that? If it is about taking a break for your child during the day, how does that work? Will your child be able to comply? How will your child know about the change? How will the teachers learn about the change? State what you understand is being proposed. What am I signing? At school meetings, people often ask you to sign documents, and it seems like you're being rushed to do that. You can ask for time to make any decisions you're asked to make. Take as much time as you need to read what they're asking you to sign. You can add things to a document to clarify your understanding, or you can ask them to write it. If you don't see what has been agreed, ask where it is. Anytime you feel pressured, know it is okay to ask for the meeting to be continued. You can have as many meetings as you need. You can ask to take the documents home to read and then get back to them. If they want you to sign that you attended the meeting, do so and add that you are signing as to being present, not agreement. What if I'm unable to resolve things? What I've listed here is a review your options for dispute resolution. The OSPI website has those options, and this is a hyperlink that if you click on, you're able to go to see what they are. You can also consult with clinics or review legal manuals online. These also are hyperlinks for Team Child Manual, the Disability Rights Washington, Northwest Justice Project, Special Ed Clinic, and the Office of Educational Ombudsman. Seek out other parents with experience with dispute resolution. What I've added here are forms and samples from the Team Child Manual that will help you with confirming phone conversations, keeping track of logs, records requests for district rules and policies, and requests for IDA and 504 evaluations. You will be able to click on the link below or go to those manuals to take a look at the same documents. Thank you for your time. I wish you all good luck in your efforts to advocate for your child.